What's up, guys? Kunal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Guys, hopefully everybody is having an awesome day, staying out of some of this chop that we've been having, but the market's been giving some really good signals lately. So let's dig into the indices, and then let's dig into, some of the stocks, because even though large cap stocks have been a little bit dead the last few days, it's a much needed breather. And frankly, everybody is waiting for Nvidia earnings anyways. And so we're probably getting this kind of just a little bit of a sloppy, right? Sloppy, choppy McGee. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It doesn't really mean anything. After such a run, when you have like this kind of 10% plus move, going sideways for a week, market's not even dumping. It's just going sideways, right? Like we're within like a 10-point range the last 5 days. That's not anything, right? And so that's, to me, a very healthy, consolidation pullback to work off this overbought condition and allows the market to build up some steam. So yes, we are nasty a little bit sometimes. It looked like in the morning we were going to dump, and then the market rebounded. If you guys watched the pre-market show, I kind of mapped this out. We had a level here. And, I was telling everybody, look, these levels here, what they often will do is just break them down. Like this is a head and shoulders. But what they do is they take these patterns down, they break them down, suck the shorts in, and then they rebound it the other way. This is a very common thing. So we are still holding support. Don't think there's really too much to read about it. There was no big news today or anything like that either. And so we're just consolidating here, I think, in a healthy, organized manner. The IWM did pull back 0.7%, but look, it made the whole move on the gap, and then it just kind of held the whole day. And I think we have a nice suction zone here that if we can get down into, we'll probably get a healthy bounce here. This is a good support here, and get us close to the 9 EMA. So to me, this is just regular old end of summer kind of a chop and digestion after we had such an incredible move, one of the more powerful moves you'll see in a given year. And so now you can see on the SPY, we're just hanging out underneath all-time highs. Oh, that's all, right? This is a bull market, guys, and we got to remember that. So it was a little bit choppy today, definitely. But that's if you're just trading things that are just matching the general market, right? In general, there's been some good PR plays out every day. There's good sector plays, and so we have some things to concentrate on. Let's go into the watch list. I think there's some good. I'm going to keep a short watch list today because I think mine's getting a little long, a little too long. I like this TEM. This has been like a hot little stock. We had a pretty orderly pullback the last few days into 9 EMA. Had a nice pop into this. This most likely is some kind of weird thing going. This, I haven't heard of this stock, and it came out in nowhere. But you got a flag pattern that's developing here. The range on this is incredible. It's got 14. It's got a 14% ATR. That's monstrous for a $60 stock. It's a really good look. Bill, this kind of reminds me a little bit. It's got a similar pattern to Chipotle right now, which is like this kind of W bottom that can lead to some big kind of moves. Now, this thing used to be $300, right? So it's probably cashed out all the back and forth, the downtrend it can go. Now you got this kind of W bottom that's, facing out. And if it can kind of come out of this zone, right, then it's a winner, right? I like the overall look. You remounted this 50-day moving average. You're starting to peak over some of the spots. It's a good look to it. Let's keep that on the watch list. It's got an awesome look. RCL, you wouldn't believe this, but this is actually at all-time highs now. Awesome look, or about to be at all-time highs. Awesome, really an awesome look. This has got everything you can probably ask for beyond just like a little bit of volume, but you got a breakout setting up here. Frankly, I would consider today the breakout. A lot of times people draw this kind of horizontal lines or whatever, but sometimes the breakout is where the inflection point is and the range is the tightest, and you get the lowest amount of risk in terms of the location to the EMAs. And I think that this has got that spot on it. Let's keep an eye on this one. I think it's a good look to it. A red to green on this, I think, could take it to the 170s. Sono, love this kind of bottoming pattern. This is an old IPO. it's been just kind of marinating here. Not that many of these kind of stocks left, right? They're kind of getting picked off one by another. You've got a location right here. Not a picture perfect location. I wouldn't give this an A+ setup, but it has A+ potential if it can get going. You know, it used to be $40, $50. And, you know, it's right in that spot in the theme of these kind of mid caps that we're beaten down that are starting to get picked up. And you're seeing a lot of that, right? The Rokus and these kind of names are starting to go. SMTC, I think, is a good for a day trade tomorrow on a week open. You got a range break here. I wouldn't hold it overnight with the Nvidia earnings coming out, but it's got a good overall look to it. Let's add this one. Qualcomm. You've got a spot right here at 175. Dude, awesome range on this, 6 points today. A little bit more than is normal. It's got a, you know, if you're looking at the hourly chart here, we're right at that sweet spot. Once again, it would only be for a day trade because we got the Nvidia earnings coming out. You know, if Nvidia drops 10% tomorrow, then all these are going to be left right in the dust. Now, if Nvidia gaps up 10%, then they're all going to gap up, right? But I think, you know, at $3 trillion market cap, you know, the days of Nvidia gapping up 20, 30, 40% or over, you know, you probably be a little bit more muted just because it's a lot thicker now, right? After the split and things like that. CMG, you got a W pattern over here. It is at the 50-day moving average, so probably needs to just clear here, right? But you got a nice spot right there. Range break and the 50-day moving average. You know, it would probably do well to have like one inside day here. That would allow these EMAs and things to tighten. I think that would really set it, but it may not wait. Costco, this thing was sick today. You know, look at this thing. It went from 886, 918. Remember we were talking about yesterday's video. If you trade the breakout on this, you got to really do the calls on it. The calls were fantastic. I mean, look at the range on this thing. They opened down, you know, you open down at $3. You get rolled at $21. Like, this is Costco, right? And you're thinking, like, how can this thing be anything? And then all of a sudden, right, it has this just epic move. And that's what happens when you break out the all-time highs and you break out these levels where there's no supply. You know, you can get these type of moves. And that's why I was talking yesterday. Like, I thought the options would be a little bit better play because, frankly, the stock itself in the morning has no liquidity. You know, when I was looking at it, it was like 60,000 shares like in the morning when it went red to green, or even a little bit less than that. But these options are actually pretty liquid for a stock that doesn't do that much volume, and you can't, you know, fight this range. So I think this is probably still in play for tomorrow on any kind of weakness as it builds this out. It may need to do a little bit of a handle or something along that end. Adobe, good look on this one too. You got earnings in 2 weeks. You got a breakout here, 573. I think this it's just prime time to do it. This is another one that it's a low ATR, but I think the options on this will trade pretty well. You know, the 580s are at $2, right? 585s. Like, you know, I'll play it by ear tomorrow, see how it opens, but a week open on this and then maybe some 575s or something like that would really be nice. These options are not liquid, so you can basically go like 5 contracts or less. You know, you can't go crazy. But they'll have some awesome range on it. So I got this one. That's a fave. A Netflix, big power push today. We put this on the blog yesterday. And, dude, it did not disappoint in the morning, 20 points. And then once the ATR was used, guys, in absence of news, if the ATR is used, then they're probably going to kind of drift down the rest of the day. Not drift down, but they could hold, or they're going to pull back to the VWAP. But you're going to just run out of that steam that you need. What can you do, right? I think it's ready for tomorrow again. Dropbox, you got a range break here. Just keep an alert. If this thing gets over 2460, like it probably is a little bit of a swing. And then mRNA, we had this on the blog yesterday. I think even for today, for tomorrow, it's in play, right? Nice trend to, spike down into the EMAs, You got good range on this. I think this is decent enough liquidity. I think this is right up our alley too. And of course, tomorrow morning, we'll look for any kind of PR plays and stuff like that. Guys, take it easy. Large caps may be a little bit of a, choppiness. It doesn't mean you can't trade them, but you got to trade quicker. There are markets where, right, you're holding You might even take some overnight if you've got some, big range left on it, or if you got, like a little bit of a cushion. We're not necessarily there yet on the Mag 7s, right? The dirty 7s. But the rest of this stuff, man, the Chipotles and these kind of names, like they got juice, right? They got juice. The Chipotles, the UPSTs, the Costcos, right? The Adobes. There's, a whole host of these Starbucks, right? Like, RCL. These are the names where the action's at. Focus on these, and you're going to be paying yourself pretty tomorrow. Guys, good luck. Let me know if you need anything.